Wayne LaPierre is out as president of the National Rifle Association, and I'm going to give you all the reasons why this is very good for gun owners. Hey guys, I'm Ben Dorr with the American Firearms Association, and before we kick this off, do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel. We've got all of the news from Washington, D.C. and state capitals all across the country on our fight for your right to keep and bear arms. So I'm gonna kick this off. Fox News breaking the news that Wayne LaPierre is retiring as executive vice president of the National Rifle Association. If you've been following the American Firearms Association or been involved in gun rights on any political level for any length of time, you should be rejoicing, and you might be right now. That's because Wayne LaPierre, a long time ago, gun owners nicknamed him $6 Million Wayne, because all of this facts, this evidence, this information came out that Wayne LaPierre was blowing millions and millions of dollars, donor dollars, on lavish trips, Italian loafers, suits from Beverly Hills. It was bizarre, but worse than all of that is the NRA has a decades-long history of supporting gun control. They supported the Lautenberg gun ban. They supported the National Firearms Act. They support national red flag gun confiscation laws. In fact, I'll play this clip for you right now and you can hear it for yourself.
Congress should provide funding for states to adopt risk protection orders.
All right, that was former executive director Chris Cox of the National Rifle Association calling on Congress to pass the very gun control bill that the American Firearms Association is fighting to stop. For years, they supported radical gun control zealots. They gave money to people like Harry Reid. Maybe I'm starting to date myself a little bit, but that guy was a gun grabber, a horrible one. And he was the Senate Majority Leader as a Democrat pushing gun control, and the NRA were giving him PAC checks. This isn't fiction, it's total fact, okay? More than that, all across the country, we have watched and have been a part of the fight to pass constitutional carry. And the NRA opposed us for years. They opposed us in Iowa. They opposed us in Missouri. They opposed us all across the country. And only once grassroots gun owners, everyday people like you and me, only when we started pushing the bills through the legislature and it became inevitable that constitutional carry was going to pass in all these different states, then the NRA comes right alongside and goes, oh, NRA-backed constitutional carry passes in this state, that state, and the other state. They didn't push the bills. They didn't author the bills. They came alongside and claimed credit for the bills after everyday gun owners like you and me and the American Firearms Association and our state affiliates that have been around for 15 years, when we started pushing those through, when gun owners started pushing them through, then the NRA came along and said, we support it now. They've been doing this for years. Wayne LaPierre used the NRA as his own personal slush fund at a time when we needed them the most. When Congress is passing red flag funding, when Joe Biden is pushing harder than ever before an assault weapons ban, a ban on all of our AR-15s and hundreds of different firearms in states all across the country. We have heard time and time and time again from gun owners in blue states like Minnesota, like New York, like now Michigan, all across the country, blue states saying the NRA has abandoned our state. They don't do anything in my Democrat-controlled state other than ask us for money. And maybe all of this sounds a little bit harsh, but to us, the Second Amendment is everything, because if we don't have our guns, if we don't have a Second Amendment, we don't have protection against thugs, criminals, invaders, and we don't have protection against tyrants either. That is something that we at AFA, at the American Firearms Association, take very, very seriously. Our duty to protect our children, our children's children, our children's 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 right to keep and bear arms, their safety, their freedom, not to treat gun owners like a slush fund like Wayne LaPierre did for so many years. Now, maybe you're one of those gun owners who thinks, well, they've done some good over the years, and if they weren't there, worse things would have happened. If you think that couldn't be farther from the truth, because nothing exists like this in a vacuum. If the NRA didn't exist for all these years, then another gun rights organization would have. It's not like if the NRA didn't exist 100 years ago, that nothing would have existed until today. It's not how that works. And we'd like to think that if any other gun rights group had been in the place of the NRA, they wouldn't have sold gun owners out so many times. They endorsed anti-gun Democrats who voted against our Second Amendment, not just in Congress, but in state legislatures all across the country. I could talk for an hour just about the senators and the representatives, the Democrats in the state of Minnesota, where I've worked for nearly 10 years, who they endorsed, backed up, gave money to, and attacked our gun rights organization in order to protect a gun-controlled Democrat who voted against constitutional carry. I could talk about this for hours in states all across America. That is what the NRA has become. They may have done good things in the past, but they have a long history now of supporting gun control and of using gun owners as political poker chips to curry favor with politicians and to line their pockets. That's not the American Firearms Association. We celebrate the exit of Wayne LaPierre, and may better men take his place. If you like what we're talking about here, if you agree, join AFA. Become a member of the American Firearms Association. Go to joinafa.org. There's a link in the description of this video, and on top of this video, join up. Become a member. See what we're all about. We're fighting in Congress. We're in D.C., we have people on the ground, unlike other organizations who just talk about what's happening there without ever going there themselves and fighting that fight. We're in state capitals all across the country, physically, in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Iowa, Missouri, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, New York, Michigan. All across the country, we are fighting boots on the ground in state capitals, red states, blue states, purple states. You're going to want to be a part of it. We're growing quickly. Go to joinafa.org, guys. Celebrate the long-time needed exit of Wayne LaPierre as head of the NRA. Again, we hope better men take his place. Join the American Firearms Association. Fight with us, watch what we do, participate in this battle against Biden and against these gun control zealots and the rhinos who are constantly shivving us in the back in order to gain political points. No compromise. That's our motto. Join up, share this video with your family and friends, celebrate with us, and we'll talk again very soon.